1813. Europe was a continent at war, locked in a titanic struggle. For over a decade, the Napoleonic Wars had raged, reshaping maps and shattering empires. Napoleon's disastrous invasion of Russia the previous year had cost him dearly, both in men and in the aura of invincibility that had once cloaked him. Sensing weakness, his enemies began to coalesce, forming a powerful coalition determined to break French power once and for all. It was against this backdrop that the stage was set for one of the largest battles the world had ever seen, the Battle of Leipzig. Leipzig, a bustling German city, would become the focal point for this momentous confrontation. Over 500,000 men from across Europe would converge upon this unsuspecting town, transforming its fields and streets into a nightmarish landscape of smoke, fire, and blood. At the heart of this maelstrom stood Napoleon Bonaparte, the once and future emperor of the French. A military genius, a master strategist, and a charismatic leader, Napoleon had dragged France from the ashes of revolution and forged it into the most powerful nation in Europe. Yet, even his genius had its limits. The Russian campaign had bloodied him, costing him hundreds of thousands of men and denting his aura of invincibility. Arrayed against him was a coalition of unprecedented size and power. Tsar Alexander I of Russia, tall, handsome, and burning with a desire for revenge after Napoleon's invasion of his homeland, led the charge. He was joined by the stoic Frederick William III of Prussia, eager to avenge the humiliation inflicted upon his kingdom by Napoleon's armies. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a battle of wills between some of the most powerful men in the world. The weeks leading up to Leipzig were a flurry of marches, countermarches, and strategic maneuvering. Napoleon, outnumbered but never outmatched, sought to use his central position and his army's speed to defeat his enemies in detail, striking them one by one before they could fully unite their forces. He won a series of minor victories, but the coalition, learning from past mistakes, avoided a decisive engagement, choosing instead to slowly tighten the noose around the French army. The Allies were not without their own internal tensions. Each monarch had their own ambitions, their own goals. Holding this fragile alliance together required a delicate touch and no small amount of diplomacy. Yet, they understood that their best chance of victory lay in unity. As the armies converged on Leipzig, the tension was palpable. Section 4. The battle joined, Days of Thunder and Blood. The Battle of Leipzig, also known as the Battle of Nations, commenced on the 16th of October, 1813. It was a battle on an epic scale, a maelstrom of fire and steel that dwarfed anything seen before. Over 500,000 men clashed in a confused and bloody struggle that raged for 3 long days. The roar of cannon fire was deafening, the air thick with smoke and the stench of gunpowder. The first day of the battle saw fierce fighting as Napoleon launched a series of attacks against the combined Austrian and Russian forces to the south of Leipzig. The French fought with their usual ferocity, but the Allies held firm. By nightfall, neither side had gained a decisive advantage. The second day saw the arrival of Swedish and Prussian forces, further bolstering the coalition's numbers. Napoleon, realizing he was now hopelessly outnumbered, began to withdraw his forces back towards Leipzig, hoping to regroup and fight another day. Section 5. Aftermath and Significance. The beginning of the end. The Battle of Leipzig was a crushing defeat for Napoleon. His army, exhausted and demoralized, was routed. He lost tens of thousands of men, many captured or deserting as the scale of the defeat became clear. The once invincible French emperor was forced to retreat back to France, his aura of invincibility shattered. The Allies had won a decisive victory, one that would change the course of history. The Battle of Leipzig marked a turning point in the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon's defeat at Leipzig shattered his hold on Germany and emboldened his enemies. The following year, the coalition armies invaded France, capturing Paris and forcing Napoleon's abdication. Section 6. The Long Shadow of Leipzig, a Europe Reforged. The impact of the Battle of Leipzig resonated across Europe and beyond. The Congress of Vienna, convened in the aftermath of Napoleon's downfall, redrew the map of Europe, attempting to restore the balance of power and prevent future conflicts. The battle also had a profound impact on the development of military strategy and tactics, leading to changes in army organization, weaponry, and battlefield medicine. More importantly, perhaps, Leipzig helped to forge a new sense of European identity. Soldiers from across the continent had fought side by side against a common enemy, forging bonds of camaraderie and shared sacrifice. This shared experience would plant the seeds for future cooperation and integration, though the road to a truly united Europe remained long and fraught with challenges. The Battle of Leipzig, then, was more than just a battle. It was a turning point in history, a clash of titans that decided the fate of nations and shaped the future of Europe.